Hey guys, this is Eric Wangana with Wangana Racing. It's Saturday, so it's like the update video day. There's a lot in this video. There's not just my son swimming, although that will lead us off. There's the stuff for the small block Ford Cam Challenge. I'm giving you the last bit of data. You have 2 months to get me a cam. Otherwise, you won't be competing. So looks like we're going to be in May. That's when the competition is going to take place because they have 2 months from today. So that'd be like May 1st. So somewhere around there, we're going to be dynoing, see which cam works best for the small block Ford. So we'll be talking about that. Some other stuff like is Nova. That's kind of cool stuff. And just a bunch of other different stuff like I usually do on these videos. But I'm going to start with my son because I'm going to. So he swam his final time at high school, and he competed at the state championship for Oklahoma. So he's competing in 2 events. And he was competing in the 200 free and the 500 free. You're only allowed to do 2 individual and 2 relays. So I think the better story to do it is to do it this way. Let's start off with where he began. So his freshman year is when he began swimming for Broken Arrow. His first year, he didn't even make state, and he wasn't even close. And I'm going to tell you these times because this is what he did in 4 years. So as fast as he ever went at the 200 meter was a 2:28 when he was a freshman year. His 500 was a 7:08. Now, this is him now. So he had 2 goals because his sophomore year was the first year he ever made state. He was a dead last qualifier, and he did it in the 200 free. He wasn't even on a relay because he wasn't even fast enough to make the relays for Broken Arrow then. His last year, junior year, he swam the 100 free and the 200 and the 500 free. He only made the finals in the 500 free. He didn't make it in the 100. This year, his goals was to make a final, which is the top 8, and obviously to beat his best times. He started off with the 200. The best time he had been 2 months ago was a 156. Then he went a 155. Then he went a 154. In prelims, he went a 153, and that qualified him 15th, so he made the B final. In finals, he went a 152. Both those are as fast as he's ever gone, and he moved up to 14th. But it wasn't an A final. Now, his 500, remember, his freshman year was a 7:08. And qualifying, he went a 5:04.98. Now, he had been a 5:04.5 last year at this time at state. So he was a half second off that. And he, unfortunately, because of that, it put him at 10th fastest. So he didn't make the A final, which he was kind of bummed about that. But this is him in the B final. So this is outstanding. Check this out. See this picture? This was taken by a parent on our team, but that's Bishop in the water right there, and that's his teammates cheering behind him. And it looks like he's swimming by himself. That's how much of a lead he had on people. So it was amazing. It was an amazing watch. And also it's amazing to watch his teammates wanting him to do so well and his coaches as well. He can't see any of that in the water or even hear it, but it's nice to know it's there. And then this picture is him getting ready to start a relay. This is how it's supposed to look when he's not rushing. So I'll tell you more about that in just a second because that part scared the crap out of me. But yeah, this is him on the line getting ready to go on a relay. He ends up winning that B final, and he goes a 5:03 and some change, his new personal best. He wins it. So he finished 9th overall, but he wanted to be in the top 8 because the top 8 get medals. He didn't get it, which is tough. And part of him, and so I was asking him after it was all done because I didn't hardly see him, So I asked him after it's all done, I was like, are you happy with it? And he goes, no. And I was like, oh, you take off too much like your old man. And he's like, I know I could have gone faster. And his thought was, and it's a smart thought, he was going to try. He wasn't supposed to be the fastest one in that heat. This other kid goes like a 4:57. He was hoping to get pace with him because he wanted to break 5 minutes. So he'd either make the A final or he wanted to be under 5 minutes. But that kid got sick. So he was still swimming, but he was dead slow. So Bishop just flying, didn't doing his thing. But he has no one to see who's actually going 5 minutes where he needs to be. So his board man's helping him, but it's really hard to judge that. So that's it. So he ends up finishing 9th. 9th fastest in the state for high school. Super great. The weird thing, so this is a little side story, and I don't know, I'm probably going to embarrass the crap out of him. But in the preliminaries, the way it works, There are 3 heats of 500s, and he happened to be in the third and final heat. After that, then the relays begin. There's a girl relay. There's 2 girl relays, and there's a boy relay, and they're the first boys relay. So in other words, he just got done swimming a 500, giving it hell. He has approximately 4 minutes before he has to be back in the pool to swim again on the relay, and it's just a 50, so it's not horrible. Well, in the stands, he scares the crap out of me, I'm going to tell you too. Because I see him walking. He gets done doing the 500, and I've seen him more tired before, but I thought he just walked underneath us and we can't see him anymore. I thought maybe he just went to go throw up or something, because the rest of his teammates are getting up there. They're ready to go, all right? They're in their lane. They're getting ready to go. There's 3 teammates, and there should be 4. He's supposed to be there. And they're like, Caden, because that's his first name. And no one knows where he is. And I thought, well, maybe he went to go throw up or something, because sometimes you go swimming real hard, they'll throw up. But anyway, didn't see him. So the race has started. He's still not back there. So just to back up, he got done doing the 500. His time management sucks. He doesn't realize we're coming. Like, they're 2 minutes. There's 2 minutes for the girls. There's going to be another 2 minutes for the girls, and you're up. But what he had done is he went to go talk to his club coach, and she does the splits with him and analyze the swim after they're always finished. And he wasn't taking attention to time. He was supposed to be in the third one on the relay. The third guy's on the board looking around. There's no one behind him to go, and it should be him. And trust me, I'm panicking up in the stands. And so the coaches, or the high school coaches, like sending the alternate to go over there real fast to get in there, get in that lane. And then Bishop just shows up. And Max, his other swimmer, is the first one. He gets out, and he's like, shakes his head at him. He was like, yeah, I'm good. And then he goes, and he does a great time. Unfortunately, they didn't make the A final either, so on the relay. So I was like, man, that was probably the scariest thing. But he does really good on relays, but that scared me. But that ends his high school swimming. So fortunately for you, you don't have to hear any more about his high school swimming. However, he does club, because I told you he talked to his club coach. The finals for that on short course is next weekend. And that's harder, I'll warn you. So in high school, you can only swim 2 events. In club, you can swim as many as you qualify for, and they qualify by time, so you have a certain cut time. So he's qualified in a bunch of them. But the problem is there's not just 24 kids you're competing against. They'll have like 8 heats. So you're like 40, 50 kids, something like that, on each thing. So he probably won't make the finals. He's made it once or twice he's made it, and has been in the 500. He will try. I could tell you right now what he's going to try doing. He's going to try to break that 5-minute mark on the 500. And if he don't, he's going to be mad at himself. But I think he's going to, I'm hoping he does. I don't want to jinx him. He just needs someone that's next to him that's going about a 4:59, so he can keep with him. And because he'll do whatever. He'll kill himself to keep up with him and to get that 5. He'll break underneath the 5-minute mark. But he's got the other events too. But he should feel glad, but this is taking too much out of his old man. Those are 2 personal best you've ever gone at that, ever. You should be happy, and you did really great, but it's just the way he is. But that's next weekend, so you probably won't get an update video next weekend. That's too much. And that's in Bartlesville, so we got to drive, and we'll be in the hotel for 4 days. After that, he's got some time off, and then long course season starts, but it's not as intense to me. But anyway, high school's over. Can't believe it. I've got a senior. Dang, it's over. But anyway, now let's get to the stuff you really care about, the car stuff. And I know I let off with my son. Sorry. Okay, small block Ford Cam Challenge, guys. This is the last piece I'm giving you, and you've got about 2 months. You got 2 months exactly to get your cam to me. So this is the last piece. If you want anything else answered, you can email me at winegrindingracing@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to answer those. But this is the last piece I think that you actually need for the camshaft. So here it is. The headers came in. Here's they are. So these are from Schoenfield. These are dyno headers. I've taken measurements. I'll share those with you in a minute. But as you can tell, they got the multiple pattern for the trick flow high port heads. The only downside is, as you can tell, it's a multi-pattern. And so you have one that's more for like an AFR. So it's not going to follow the port exactly. And I know you're tempted, can you flow the heads with it? No, because that's just going to delay you further. So we're not doing that. It just is what it is. But it looks like they're about the same size. If they didn't have the notch in, I'd say we're over them, we're perfect. But that's the only weird thing about them. But these are dyno headers, they work fine, deal with it. But here's your measurement. So the tube lengths aren't all the same. So just gonna let you know. So if you look here, I'm gonna set this header down so I don't drop it. And I'll move me so you can see better. We'll start with each ones. So this is a stepped header. So you've got a 1 7/8 and then it stops and then it becomes 2 inch. So the 1 7/8 length on this pipe is 11.5 inches long. The 2 inch segment's 25.5 for a total length on this one pipe's 37 inches. This pipe, 1 7/8 section is 9 inches long. The 2 inch section is 26 for a total of 35 inches. Okay. Then you've got this one. It's 1 7/8 sections, 11 inches long. It's 2 inch segments, 20.5, total 31.5 inches long. Last tube. This one's 1 7/8 is 9 inches long. It's 2 inch segments, 22 for a total of 31 inches. And those are your lengths on that. Now for the collector, because it depends on how you measure it. Every person seems like they measure it different. The diameter is 3.5, okay? But if you go from here to here is 8.5 inches. But really, those pipes are stopping somewhere in here. So I'll do a little measurement here in a second, give you that. But the pipes probably stop in here, and then they just weld around them so they slip in. But the total length, so from here all the way to the end is 12.5. But really, grab my tape measure here. Give me a second here. Maybe not. Sorry about the weird movement of the camera. I'm not going to edit that. So here we have a little one. Of course, there we go. And if you want to go that way, you can look at it as linked this way. So depending on how you measure it, there you go. That's about the best I'll say for that. So if you want to say, hey, the collector technically starts from here on, that would be about 10 inches. But really from here, where they're all together, is 8.5. So whatever way you want to do with your math. But that's the last piece. Today is March 1st. You have till May 1st to have a cam here. If your cam's not here by May 1st, you don't compete. Sorry. Tough titty, said the kitty. But anyway, that's it. The small block, the actual short block was dropped off at Dunsworth on Thursday. He has most of those pieces. I'm waiting for the lifters from Chris Straub. I'm waiting for the heads to come back from Chris Straub that are supposed to have been CNC ported from my model. And then also, I need to give you the spring specs, but I'll do that here in just a second too, because I know some of you are about to type that. But once the heads are here, I can then finish porting the manifold, so it's really close. And then I can send all that to Dunsworth. He could do the dyno work. Now, somebody's like, well, wait a minute, what about the push rod length and weight? If you had to wait for that, we're going to be another 2 months. It ain't happening. We just have to deal with that. So we're just going to go with that. So you got 2 months. May 1st, Cam needs to be here. And I'll probably schedule a dyno session as close as I can to that time. I'm going to let you know. Because my son graduates from high school, I want to say the 16th. And since this whole deal is going to take like a week, I need to be rolling that week. Otherwise, it's going to be the end of May, and it's starting to get hot. I don't want it hot. That's miserable. But let me show you the spring specs and then you're good to go. Get on it. Here are the spring specs. So this spring that we're using right here, this is a PAC 1225-16. Using the PAC retainer. I'll weigh both in just a minute. This is the titanium retainer. This is the PAC R405. On my Buxton, this is about where I'm going to set it up. Obviously, I don't have the heads here. Otherwise, I'll tell you exactly where it's set up. But it's going to be really close to this, 1980. So I'm probably going to be like 19805, maybe 1990 at worst. But this is really, really close where we're going to be. So there's your pressures, what you're going to have. Do not exceed 780 lift. Because you can tell I got 61 thousandths of coil bind at that. Don't exceed it. So here's your weights. Got the scale set up. Hopefully it don't reset. Retainer weighs 16.7 grams. I don't know how well that's captured on the camera. But 16.7. The spring is 150.9. Total 167.6. You're like, what about the locks? Well, let me get those real quick. Here's what the locks weigh. So 6.1 grams. Total mass 173.6. And that's everything. So there you go for that. You have 2 months. Get to work. Here's what's going on with the Nova. So a lot of progress is being made. It's kind of cool, but so I'll give you an update since what's happened last time. So if you remember last video, the AFCO shocks didn't work, so the Viking Crusaders came in. So I put those on. So you can see they're there. And they're halfway adjusted. I had them on the ground where I wanted it the right height. But once I get it, the rest of the stuff in, have them sit in the car, I'll put the scales on, and then I'll adjust them the way I want it. But let's see, these ferret cores came in, some more of them, so that prevent this from not working. Because what was happening is I was trying to run it the other day, and the fans wouldn't work because they're controlled by the sniper to turn on a certain temperature, but it kept turning off and on. Well, the fans don't like that, so it just stopped working. But the ferret cores seem like they work, and I'll start up here in a second so you can see it. If you're interested in buying these shocks, these are brand new, by the way. They were just bolted on the car, never even used. No track time, nothing. But 3850 SP. So they got a bearing at the bottom, and they're a stud mount at the top. They're dual adjustable AFCOs. They're nice. They're nice shocks. I had some for like $400 for the pair, so that's about half what you normally get. But anyway, that's done. The exhaust is on. I'm not going to bother getting underneath the car. It does have electric cutouts, but that's put on and started. Oh, had to get a new windshield wiper motor. I haven't put that in yet. I also got the horn. I'm waiting for race wire. If you order from race wire, it might as well just calculate a week before they actually ship the thing. But I'm waiting for race wire to come in so I can finish wiring all this stuff up, because I have the switches and stuff too. But I'll fire this up in a second. Well, hell, I'll just do it now. Let me turn on this. Well, the master switch isn't on. I did get new taillight lenses. I actually found some on Amazon. Still not cheap. But I'm going to change those out so I can get that wired up so the brakes work. Turn on power. Just so you can see. This is cold-blooded, I'll tell you this. Carb works great when it's warmed up, but cold-blooded, son of a gun. I guess give it. I got a little panel switch up here. Good enough. Okay, I'll show you all the stuff. So like the sniper's not hooked up, obviously got a carburetor, but that's that dummy one. Let's see if it fires up. Yeah, not even touching the gas. Yeah, it does start right up. That's what it sounds like. Anyway, that's what it sounds like. It idles, works great. We're gonna turn off master power on that deal. But once it's up to temperature, it starts right up. You see, you don't even gotta give it gas or nothing. Just push the button and it fires right off. But when it's cold, when you first start it, man, it takes a while to get a little heat in it. So, but like I said, once you get any temperature in it, it's good to go. Runs fine, great oil pressure and all that, but progress being made. Jamie is the guy that's been helping me work on this thing. He did the exhaust system and everything else. But he's getting the tubes to hook that up so he can put the bumper on. Still need a grill. I did buy new headlights. I need to paint those buckets and stuff though. Whole car needs painted. But it's making progress. So who knows? I highly expect this to be out in May with Bishop trying to run it. And then we'll see. Hopefully he can go run a 12 with it. Because this engine, I mean, you can tell it's mild, it's tame. It's only make 425 horsepower, 425 torque. It's pretty mild, but it'll teach him what he needs to know so we can go to the bigger motors and more powerful ones to get him where he can go a little bit quicker. But this we could drive to the track, I think. Everything works out and should be great, but it's not a beauty queen. Hopefully we can make it look nice, but it's later on. But that's updates on it. So if you got questions, feel free to ask about any of that stuff. It's turned out to be not too bad of a project. I just, these things with these is when they're not painted, they always look like crap, even though you got the best stuff otherwise, or not the best stuff, but looks pretty good. Then the body is just like, ugh. And I just don't want people judging it that way because it's a nice car. It just doesn't look like a nice car. Anyway, next thing, these came in. Now, these are the Comp Cam's hydraulic roller lifters, their new Evolution series for a small block Chevy. I have a 383 dyno mule that we testing all the double hump heads on. And, well, I wanted to try these. Now, Comp didn't give them to me. I actually bought them. But I'm really looking for a different alternative to the hydraulic roller lifters that are out there. So, for instance, their Morel street ones are in here, but they're not the race ones. The race ones from Morel, and I know several people agree with me on this, they're loud. The race hydraulic roller lifters from Morel are loud. They sound as loud or louder than a saw roller, which defeats the purpose to me of having a hydraulic roller cam. So there's one of the options. The other one was from Johnson's, the Johnson hydraulic roller lifters. Those are insanely high, like $850. So they're pretty high. People buy them. They're quiet though, and they work fantastic. They're just very expensive. And then you've got Gatorman, which right now they're just really, really back ordered. So these are the new things from Comp, and I'm hoping that they work out. My thing I'm going to try to test on them is, and by the way, here's what they look like. So they've got a different design than the others. They are rebuildable. They got this puck on the inside that can be changed. And I guess you can do all kinds of stuff with them as far as that goes. But they look like a nice lifter, and I'm going to test them. And again, Comp didn't even give them to me. They didn't even know I'm going to use them for them. I just bought them because I've got an account with Comp anyway. But yeah, these will be much cheaper. Probably at least $100 cheaper than the Johnsons. And if they work, fantastic. We now have an alternate, and maybe these could be able to get in stock. But I look forward to testing them. So if they suck, then I'm like, well, the only ones that sucked on were the ones I sold, so to myself. But anyway, getting ready to try those. Next thing up is I did finally flow that Pro Max head. This will be the video on Monday. Did a little bit of work to it, not much, and you get to see the difference on that. But that pretty much wraps up this video. Guys, thanks for watching. I'm no Superman. I do not port cast iron heads. One little thing. One little thing here. So on Tuesday, I put the video about the AFR 18-degree Magnum heads. And at the beginning of the video, because I had gotten so frustrated, I had said, guys, if you want to ask me technical questions about a product you didn't buy from me, but I sell, and you chose to buy it from someone else, you need to ask them. Or you could pay $25, and I will answer your question, because time is money. And many of your commenters have been fantastic, and I appreciate that. I just thought I'd share this little statistic with you. Monday and Tuesday were at my son's swim meet, which I told you about, bombarded with them. Wednesday got more of the same things. I had, probably 5 people that I sent that response to was, I will give technical support to any product I have sold you, but I do not want to be the tech line for anything else you may have sold. I bought from someone else that I've sold. I have 700 videos, and probably most of your questions are answered in there. And every question, by the way, that they did ask was answered in a video. They just didn't want to Google search, I guess. And every single one of those, so for a total of 5, I put the link, pay $25, and I'll answer your question. Not a single one did it. The point I'm trying to make is people want everything for free. They would take your soul if they could. So the true customers and true people, thank you. But I just thought I'd give you a little weird update. Because I know when I was younger, I'd gladly pay $25 to get an answer answered. Gladly. Some people would just never buy anything from you, and they'll suck you dry. But anyway, I got great customers, and just thought I'd share that little nugget of knowledge for you. So if someone ever finally buys it, I'm going to put it on here just to let you know. I'm going to keep track of how many times I had to do that for people that ask me questions about product I didn't sell them because wherever they got it from didn't have it. Because one of them, they bought it from eBay. And of course, they don't have any information. But anyway, so I'm going to keep track of that. And every Saturday update video, I'm like, 5 times, I'm going to have now 5 and 0 did it. So we'll find out what happens next week. But guys, I'm no Superman. I don't port cast iron heads. I did race Superboy. You guys take care.